servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
BrainShare Business Mentors proudly presents BrainShare.us, the ultimate business education platform, delivering the proven systems, processes, tools, and knowledge that empower you to build the business of your dreams. With 13 high-powered courses encompassing over 240 lessons accessed online on your schedule. Running a business is the hardest thing you'll ever do. We've helped thousands of business owners gain the leadership, communication, and business skills needed to build the business of their dreams. We can help you. Choose your learning path. Scuba Squad is the premier membership program for today's business leaders with access to all BrainShare material and double our money-back guarantee. BrainShare Basics, the ultimate business framework course, a hard-hitting 13-week program to lay the necessary foundation to build the business of your dreams. Or take individual courses as you need them. Every course has dozens of lessons, with video, practical exercises, precise documentation, and the opportunity for direct feedback from a BrainShare mentor. All programs have our exclusive 30-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked, don't wait. Choose your path and start today.
Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. Doing business and life with a purpose, serving others and achieving success. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. We created this show for you because we want everyone to be motivated, inspired, and educated to learn how to do business, and I think more important, live life to make an impact in the world. While you're listening to my two incredible guests today, I want you to think about who you're going to serve today. And what impact will you create today from that service? I want to thank my sponsor, BrainShare. Build a business that works with you. Discover how to create a self-sustaining business that thrives, even in your absence. Can you imagine that? You can have a business that doesn't tie you down. We'll guide you through the steps to build an enterprise that operates smoothly without your own constant oversight. Visit BrainShare.us to learn how to set the foundations for a business that stands the test of time. With BrainShare Business Mentors, you can build a business that works without you. And I'm excited my guests talk about an impact in health and wellness. Some of you know, friends that are listening to my show, my family started a health club in 78 to 2000, and health and wellness is a big part of my life. I'm always looking and exploring. Well, when I met Shawn for the first time, I was blown away about his servant's heart, because I think that's lacking in this health and wellness industry. We got to care about our people. And when you do it right with your health and wellness, life just changes. Shawn and Julianne, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm excited. I'm going to start with this. I want to thank Shawn. He mentioned the show is on with a guy he worked with, Jackson, about serving. And if you're having a tough time, go out and serve. You guys do this daily with Wellness Shop 365 days of the year. Why are you doing that?
It's something that's been a passion of mine, and I can say for both of us, but I'll let her kind of speak on her behalf. But since we were young children, I remember even being probably 10 years old, and I had an uncle who actually would teach me how to read food labels and nutrition labels. And he would talk to me about, certain things that they put in our foods that actually are really bad for you. And, thinking about a 10-year-old, usually they wouldn't care. Like, whatever, uncle, what are you talking about? But I took that to another level and just started doing my own research. And I actually was able to transform my own life, full of, alcohol, partying, and not caring about anything else but myself, being about 30 plus pounds overweight, to transforming my own life. And in doing so for myself, others started to follow without me even asking, or they just they saw what I was doing for myself and decided to follow me, and asked for my help. And I was giving free. I wasn't a professional at the time, but doing what I could, and people kept trying to convince me, hey, you need to do this for a living. And at the time, I'm like, I don't know. But the more I did it, and the more I saw friends and family see results from the help that I was giving them, um, and I realized that this is the direction God wanted me to be in.
Amen. How about you, Julia?
So it's definitely a passion. He hit it right on the head there. Is I really I came from a hard background. I didn't have the best childhood, but I did have some wonderful grandparents in my life that helped take care of me, both my grandma and my great grandmother. And my great grandmother was more into like that outside, getting outdoors. She definitely served in her community. So it was wonderful to see that. And then my grandmother, she actually was similar, but she also did a lot of stuff in more of a holistic arena. And at the time, I was young and I had so much going on that I didn't realize the value of that. And I kind of disregarded it until I started getting older and I wanted to be in health. I thought it was going to be more like doctor something of that line of Western medicine. And so I started kind of going that direction. And then I felt like I was grinding against some gears. And so one of the things that I ended up running into is some of my own health issues. And it was due to trauma and malnutrition as a child. And so I ended up having fibromyalgia, and I also later in life miscarried. And so
Mm.
I couldn't have, I thought my two girls were my only kids, and that was fine. I was happy with that, and I kind of accepted it. And I just figured, oh, I'm getting old. That's why I'm having pains. And I made some excuses for that. And then I went on this journey with going the holistic route and met a very good doctor that helped us on that journey. And he actually inspired me. He became a mentor in that aspect. And I decided to really run with it. And so I started doing my own research, my own education. And this year, I actually am 4 months out from my graduation of doctorates of natural medicine. So I did become a doctor. It's just in a different aspect of what that looked like. And I'm super excited. But my passion really stems to making sure that other people don't suffer the same way, or know that there is an answer out there for you, that you don't have to suffer alone and you're not the only person that's going through that. And it could be anything from mental to physical, and so there's answers, and there's ways of doing things. And I really love even working with kids, because that's one of the things, it's so pure that they're not yet altered yet by all the things in the society. And so I do all ages of life, but that's one of the ones I'm really passionate about too.
Oh, I love that. I love the mentors. We never know where they're coming from. For
Yeah.
you as your grandparents. And that's the thing, you have mentors, but always be open to whoever that's going to be,
Mhm.
if they're a good fit. And I love that. That's why you guys are so incredible people. I seen a picture of your family. It's beautiful. What's the vision for Wellness Shop 365?
It's I'll start from the beginning, and I'll keep this story short. But when we first had this vision, it was in November. Well, I should say summer of 2020. When we opened in November of 2020, we thought we were going to sell natural and holistic products. That hence where the shop came from. And we were on our way. We had a couple local partnerships here with some product, and we thought we had some good products. And as we progressed, it didn't take long. I think it was like January or February of 2021. We're like, what do we can do so much more. Like there's more we have. Like, I mean, we have the background, the knowledge, the certifications, to help people one-on-one and in group settings. And that's where we transitioned more into a treatment facility and coaching. We do coaching and consulting with nutrition, health, wellness, fitness, exercise. And also like bioenergetic medicine is exactly what she specializes in. So it evolved pretty quickly, and the business started out in a small room in our house, evolved to a basement office, and then expanded over to where we are now, just a couple miles from the house, in an actual location. So it happened pretty quick, but the long-term vision for both of us is to develop and I want Julianne to hit on this more too, but to develop a larger holistic wellness center, and almost what we want to call a retreat, where people can come and experience the entire thing. It might be a massage, a spa, but also education. Teaching people how to properly cook, what foods they should be staying away from, and the foods that they should be eating. Things like that. It's an educational facility, but also kind of a pampering facility as well.
Yeah.
Kind of retreat. So that's kind of our long-term vision. And and I know Julianne has a lot more to say about that too. So
Yeah, I think overall the vision, and I mean that he said it right where we started from, but the vision is really to help as many people as possible, but really help them from the basics. Like what does a whole holistic life even look like? We're not just talking about nutrition. That's a wonderful thing to talk about, but it is not the only thing that matters. Some of the things that people miss is like, how is your family life? How is your business? How's your education? And also, and we call it the harmony of life wheel, by the way. I almost forgot.
And if any of the listeners do go to our website, thewellnessshop365.com, you can actually take that wheel of life assessment live right there, and then the results get shot over to us, and then we can collaborate and talk further. But it's a great way to kind of gauge yourself. And the way I always tell our clients too is I say, be honest with yourself when you're filling this assessment out, and fill it out as you're feeling in these areas right now in your life, not where you were 5 years ago, not where you want to be in 5 years or 10 years, where you are right now, because that's where we need to focus, is where you are now. And that's part of what Julianne is saying, is where we meet our clients where they are, where they're at now, and not prior or future.
Yeah. And so just to hit right back on it, because one of the things that you do is the servant's heart, I was going to say one of the things in our harmony of life wheel is service. And it's so crucial, because when you stop doing, we all are stuck in this modern society because we live in that first world country. We forget the things that we are absent of, or things that other people don't have that we have. And so one of the things that really makes you humbled is knowing and working with others that actually have less, than you do. And it's helping them come up to that level of happiness where they can survive, but also bring you to that level of understanding that life is actually very good where you're at, especially if you've got a roof over your head, if you've got food on the table, if you've got family to go home to at night that love and cherish what you bring to the table. Those are so important. And sometimes, those individuals that may not have as much wealth do have family wealth though. And so that's another thing that you can take away from that, is the value that they bring to you, not just as a service to them of doing something for them, but what can they teach you in that process as well. And so there's so many things that, like I said, going back to that whole retreat and creating that understanding of the baseline, what does that look like of a holistic life, and really creating that for you so you can build that foundation, become better in your life, and then help others get to that same place. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important part, is helping everybody come to that next level and being on that stage together, sharing the spotlight.
Yeah. A harmony of life with service. I completely endorse you guys now. Not that I didn't before, but that's harmony. And we talked about, I said earlier, what you said, that's a game changer. And all the other parts are great too. But people, that's why they're on this show, people, audience, whatever you want to call, powerful. I'm going to accentuate that, because it's a game changer in your life. And you said help a number of times, Julianne, and so did you, Shawn. What's helping mean to you?
God.
Um, when I'm able to help others, it brings warmth to my heart. I mean,
Right.
if I want or I enjoy the hair standing up on my neck or tears coming to my eyes, I just got to help somebody, and that's it. And it's more of a rewarding experience than receiving anything. It doesn't matter when like I remember times when I'd receive something and I'd immediately want to go share it. Um, and it doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, that's what helping is it brings that warmth to my heart. And that we added that was that wheel, that Harmony of Life wheel was that how it was. And then we added that giving, volunteering, and donating, because that was, and like you said, that's probably the most important one out of the 13 categories on that wheel. And when our clients fill that wheel out, that's where I look right there. Because like Julianne said, a lot of people don't take the time to do that. And they'll say, oh, well, I'll give my time or my money when I have time. Well, if you say that, you're not going to have time. You got to make the time.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
And for me, helping is really giving you the tools to help you succeed. So for me, I'm going to help you by realizing your potential, by realizing your skill set, by realizing what you already have inside of you and helping that blossom. And so you already have everything you need. You just need to be able to find that inside of you. And doing things like serving others is one of those things where you can find that potential. What is that skill set that is built inside of you? And then from that brings in that love, that warmth, that feeling of excitement, that feeling of, conquering something. And that's the next level to that. So that's just a piece of it. But really it starts with that, basically giving somebody else something that they can utilize and find within them. Everybody's a gem.
Yeah, I love that. And I got a statement here that you guys gave me about not every doctor, coach, or practitioner tests their own programs. And audience, and you've heard me say this before, I don't know why I keep picking mechanic, but a mechanic gets a divorce and thinks they're an expert in divorce, and they go, I'm going to coach people with divorce. Again, nothing wrong with that. Learn it first. And is that kind of what you're saying when you say test your own program? Talk more about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if we find a new, a new protocol, it could be a new supplement, could be a new program. We always test ourselves on these things first before we suggest, or even, or I should say before we take somebody or even suggest somebody try it. We want to make sure that what we're providing to our clients is of quality service and quality product and what we believe in, and we stand by things because we've tested it. And then we also have family and friends that are right alongside of us to say, yeah, hey, I want to try this. We're right now currently working on a men's testosterone formula, natural men's testosterone formula that I'm currently going through myself. And then a good friend of mine that I work out with, he's like, I'm in, let me do it. So we're building not just testimonials, but what's the right word?
Analysis. You're trying to get feedback.
We're able to get a full feedback, and then we can start going to a bigger market with it and saying, hey, this we've tested this stuff. But also, simply put, and we talk about this in our weekly meetings, is we walk the walk. We don't just talk the talk. What we're trying to help people, whether it's nutrition or mindset or whatever it is in life that they're trying to achieve different goals, we take ourselves through this program, and through the way we talk to others, we're taking ourselves through this as well. We're not blindly going into this and saying, oh, you need to stop eating McDonald's while we're over here eating McDonald's. Like it's not, not like that at all. So we obviously, everything that we teach and coach, we taught, or we walk that walk along with everybody else.
Yeah. It's an emotional journey, health and wellness. I lived it. So is that a big part of it, mindset, when you're working with people? Because I know I won't say the company name, but there's big, nutrition shops out there, and they do some coaching, but it's like, you go to their wall and they got 400 whey protein products. How do you figure it out? It's like going to buy cereal. You got 50 different kinds of cereal. You take it to another step, right? Or another level.
Way deeper. Yeah. I mean, we actually have equipment here in our office that when you're tested on it, it actually goes down to a cellular level and will tell us exactly what foods, not just foods, but also it goes into an emotional level as well. You could be dealing with, and this is Julianne's specialty. I don't want to take this stage right now because she's more into it. But I mean, we can go into like past traumas that you've dealt with and help you through that, because a lot of that has to do with the problems you're dealing with today. Please, can you
Yeah.
explain more about the biofeedback?
So I do a lot of biofeedback, and it's linked back to traditional Chinese medicine, which has been around for thousands of years, actually. Our medical system is only like a couple hundred years old, or it's actually really even less than that. But what we're looking at is that illness that stems from trauma or psychological damage. And really, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize that once you have experienced trauma in your life, it is housed in the body. It actually sets up shop someplace, and that's where traditional Chinese medicine comes in. So I always like to use the example of liver, because people really know the liver very well. And it's a component that clears out and detoxes the body. It creates hormones. It basically, it's your whole system next to your kidneys. And so one of the things is people that get angry tend to have anger in the liver. And the thing is that what happens from that is that anger turns into, oh, I'm going to drink a little bit because it eases that anger. And then it becomes an issue. And so it's not just the alcohol when you get, the fatty liver disease or, cirrhosis of the liver. Those aren't things that necessarily started with the alcohol or with, whatever the fructose that you're taking in. It actually probably started with emotions. And a lot of times when you hit on those emotions, people are like, yeah, that definitely hits home. And so then when you start working through the food, emotions can sometimes surface. And we've seen that where people actually will start going through emotional stuff, and they will link it back and realize that there's some childhood connection or, midlife connection where they're there in their teens or 20s or something. They'll start seeing that they'll remember things as they're detoxing, and they'll be like, oh, I remember this one time. That's not, happenstance. That's actually a connection that's being made there. And it's all detoxing the body. And so we'll go through coaching with you along with that detox so that you can fully detox, because there's 2 steps in that detox process. It's the physical and then it's the emotional.
Yeah.
And really, to sum it up, Steve, like, and to all the listeners, there's no one size fits all approach with us. Every single person that comes in here is a completely different case. So that's where you hit on that, the giant supplement stores with all the proteins, and you just kind of like put a blindfold on. Oh, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
It's completely different at a place like this where we talk about a bio-individual level. And when people ask what bio-individuality is, it means that, Steve, you're one person, I am one person, she's one person, we're all different. And when we run on these scans and the foods that we eat aren't necessarily going to be the same.
Yeah.
So, just because you see, a long time ago, I did another podcast and we talked about fitness. Fitness was the topic. And we talked about these magazines, these health and fitness magazines, where you see these men on the covers and they're just completely shredded and all that, oh, just do this and do this. Like, it's almost like you're chasing a ghost. It's fake, that is, and you're trying to emulate something that it's like, go back to yourself and say, okay, what are your goals? Just stop trying to chase somebody that look, on these magazines that, and think about what's going on inside your body.
Yeah.
And we'll start from there. So that's, just kind of sum it up there.
That's well said. And we're coming to the end, and that's perfect, Shawn, because you're right. There's a female and 2 males on here. And we're all three completely different. We're not all going to take the same thing. And yeah, that fast, well, we're a microwave society. We see a video, see the shredded guy, go, I'm taking that. I mean, what's that thing we see on the commercial all the time with Frank Thomas, the baseball player, and Doug Flutie?
Yeah.
Nutrinex.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, they're not a sponsor. If they were, we would, I don't know what I do, but
yeah.
I just leave it at that. But I was just going to say, because we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
What is the future of the Wellness Shop 365?
I mean, honestly, the possibilities are endless. You know, and starting your own business, especially in this field of health and wellness, is not easy. And trust me, we've had a lot of ups and downs, and we persevered. And the reason why we didn't quit is because we are on a mission to help as many people as we possibly can, because we do believe in what we do. We've seen firsthand results. We took my father out of rheumatoid arthritis into remission, who's been in remission for years through our program. And he was one that didn't believe in any of this, you know, and now he pushes it. So we completely believe in what we do. And not only that, we believe in every single one of our clients too, and every one of our patients, because you know, when they come in here, they experience something that I don't think they ever have in their lives, and they won't again. It's a real eye opener.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I'm going to put the website on that's best way for people to reach out to you on the website.
Yeah, website's great. You can email us if you'd like, the wellness shop 365@gmail.com, or you can call and text me directly. My phone number is right on the website. That is my personal phone. So anyone who wants to reach out, they're not going to get a recording or, you know, a bunch of automated emails or anything. It comes right to me. So I will personally respond to every single person that reaches out.
This is awesome. I want to thank you both. And again, like I say on my shows, there have been so many nuggets that Shawn and Julianne put out there today. Use the forward and backwards button on a podcast. That's why I love podcasts. Go to 15 minutes and go, Julianne just said this, and listen to it over and over again. Yeah. And reach out, comment on the YouTube channel. I will get it to Julianne and Shawn on the podcast when they're on in a couple of months. Same thing. Go out there and reach out. If something resonates with you, reach out, because this is a powerhouse couple. I'm going to make sure they're so successful that Tony Robbins is going to be jealous. And I put that in public. And don't forget my TV show, Together We Serve, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And I want to thank you all again for watching this show and listening to this show. And I'll see you on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.